John, we talked about 5 years ago a lot about this. The Doug thing was never the same. Never the same when he lost Frank Reich. Happened to lose Steve Filippo the same year. It was never the same. The Andy Reid thing here, was never the same after he lost Jim Johnson, who, of course, tragically passed away. I mean, it does matter an awful lot
the
who
Jim
your coordinators
Johnson
are.
thing was so that's a unique situation
For sure.
because that was the other side of the ball that Andy just gave him so much.
That's right.
You know,
Now,
he delegated to that side of the ball. Here you go, Jim.
Yep.
This is you. And he was magnificent.
And
he was
look,
the best in the NFL.
To the Eagles' credit back then, they did make the playoffs a couple times after Jim Johnson had passed away, but the defense was never the same level. By the way, I mean, obviously they lost Doc. A lot of the guys from that 2000 run that had been the dudes weren't there anymore. You know, Trott wasn't there, although he came back for a couple games in 2009. But, like, Doc was gone. Hugh was gone. Like, there had been a pretty big turnover. So you did have lesser players. But, look, coordinators matter a ton. I mean, there's no doubt they matter a ton. I just think the contention I have is that people putting so much eggs in the basket of Fangio and Kellen Moore to fix the whole thing. It just feels a little far.
Let's just talk about the offensive side of the football. Don't you think it's incredible that we went an entire season without a fully developed blitz protection
I think it was
scheme?
Disgraceful.
I can't believe that's what we watched. I can't believe, like, when it was all said and done, that they did not have the ability to do some of the things that we've been talking about.
But how much
changing changing the routes at the line of scrimmage?
How much is on
adjusting routes? Like simple, let's switch the mic. Let's change the mic. Redeclare the mic. You know, let's shift the protection.
Yeah.
They weren't even doing that stuff. Like, this was just very basic. And now the basic protection stuff, it was there for a reason. It's to keep your quarterback upright. Our quarterback will have a better chance of staying upright and in a pocket. That's the whole point.
Look, here's my thing, though, John. And you know I said it last year, and I'll say it again until I see otherwise and am proven wrong, and I hope I am proven wrong. Was Sirianni playing peekaboo with Jalen because he thought Jalen had limitations and he was trying to coach around that? Like, Jalen is not a classically drop back, get the ball out quick guy. Carson wasn't that. Foles was that. So it's easier to run certain plays when you got a guy like Nick Foles. I mean, I thought it was notable even when who was that Seltzer, that guy that got in there for the Eagles in the playoff game till he got hurt also when Carson got knocked out?
Josh McCown?
That guy. Like, I remember when he got in there one regular season game, and all of a sudden, bing, bam, boom, right down the field.
Yeah.
And it looked different because most quarterbacks, good quarterbacks at the pro level, they know just drop back, get the ball out.
Let the offense do the work.
Like, as you referenced earlier, be a point guard. And I feel like Jalen isn't that. There's a lot of holding the ball. I think he's not as good at reading defenses pre-snap and post-snap. So I applaud their effort to try something different.
But
I don't know that it'll work.
To do what he was doing. Like, the plan for this offense was what they asked him to do.
To an extent.
Go run around and use yourself, your abilities to buy time to get guys open. Like, that's sort of what they opted to do.
But he wasn't doing that towards the end. He was bailing.
He was bailing. It was
quickly.
both.
I understand.
He had to leave.
That was their plan. That was the plan that they had in
Two different
place.
topics here,
guys. They're going to come after you.
No, but
Jalen, use your legs.
But John, what
time.
Rhea's saying, so I agree with you, John. When there's nowhere for him to go but out because the guy's barreling in on him, we all get that. What Rhea's saying, and I agree with her, is there were many times bailing he left unnecessarily. The pressure wasn't really there, and instead of stepping up, he stepped out of the pocket.
Right.
And that's where, like, when the Kellen Moore thing, look, we'll see. I hope like hell it works. I mean, I want to see a great offense. I want to see the ball pass to Saquon Barkley 70 times. You know, I want to see a third wide receiver actually be part of.
I just need you to bear in mind.
What?
I think you will see all of these things. I need you to bear in mind that our blitz pickup, like the pass protection stuff, I don't even know what you'd call it. It was like from a different world.
How do you explain that with offensive linemen? Who obviously, like Jason Kelsey is the leader of the O-line last year, center. Yeah. He'd seen everything he can possibly see in pro football for close to 15 years. So it can't possibly be, like, he obviously knew how to do it.
No, well, the system that they put in place was not the one that I am accustomed to seeing.
Does Jalen? Let me ask you
this year, it will be more in line with that.
Does Jalen have to do more pre-snap to help others?
Yes,
because I think so.
The center and Jalen do. A lot of times it falls on one or the other. And I think in this case they'll probably work together.
I think just like anything, just like anything else in any sport, it's a combination of the two things. I mean, Jalen Hurts has to be Jalen Hurts. He has to be one of the best quarterbacks in the game and utilize his athleticism to be successful. He also needs a plan. He's not Superman. He is not Tom Brady at reading. He's not that, he's not that guy, and he needs some guidance. And I think that's a combination of the two. I know he's been around a long time.
He was sort of hung out to dry with the plan.
And I think it's a combination of he needs to be better, and so do the coordinators.
So, Ruben, I agree with you, but here's my thing. For $250 million, I need him to be closer to Tom Brady, and he to me, he got that money largely because of the way he played, which involved a lot
closer to Tom Brady. It took Tom Brady 20 years to become Tom Brady.
Dude, he won 3 Super Bowls in his first 4 seasons as a QB. Okay. I mean, but Ruben, here's my other point.
The team around
he had a great defense and all that.
The defense is why they won the first 2 of them.
A brilliant coach.
I know he did. But
come on.
But I also want, I don't know, look. I think there is some excuse making for Jalen at times. Obviously, no one ever expects him to be Tom Brady, but I think, Ruben, what got him to a point where he was an awesome NFL quarterback involved a lot of running. And if he does not,
that's
the way it is.
But if he doesn't run a lot and doesn't run effectively when he did, and he didn't either last year.
He can hand it off to Saquon.
He didn't run a lot, and he wasn't effective.
By handing it off to Saquon.
Sort of by design.
Of course it was, but that's my point. Like, if I tell Allen Iverson, AI, you've got to be a jump shooter now. You're not driving in the hole. AI, we're taking driving in the hole off the board. You're going to get in there. You're going to get banged up. You're going to fall. You're going to fall on your elbow. You're going to miss 6 games. No more driving in the hoop.
His game's over.
It's a big problem.
His game's over.
That's what I saw with Jalen last year. Not it's over, but it's lesser.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it.
It's less than.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the phone. So where do you stand on all that?
It's going to look different. You'll be excited. He's going to use these. He will look like the point guard. Kellen Moore, he was a point guard himself once upon a time. Not an athletic quarterback, not a strong-armed quarterback. He was a smart quarterback.
I know he was.
And he's going to teach Jalen to be more of a headsy guy, go through your progressions.
And you think Brian Johnson didn't try that?
I don't know what Brian Johnson was doing. I don't understand what they were trying to do on third down. It was something I'd never beheld.
All right, let's go to the phone.
This is going to be more conventional. This is going to be more along the lines of stuff that I've seen before, and I'm positive Jalen is going to be great.
Okay. All right, you let us know where you stand.